Yep. You're going to want to buckle up for this one, fan. Penguin men. The best season the Penguin men have had since joining the NC2A 5 years ago. A big night ahead of us as George Puow, the head coach of the Argonauts, in the house, talking to Booker T. Harris right now. Stuart Horn and Michael Temple in the pregame. 2 minutes to go to tip-off. Penguins off to our left, warming up in their home golds now, Mike.
Yeah, I like this look. The new gold unis.
It's kind of OG.
Yeah, they've only brought it out, I think, 3 times this year, but it's just a good look. I like it. Nice and bright, nice and crisp. Really like the gold unis.
George Puow here in front of Media Row. He's been the man of the helm at Notre Dame for years. Gosh, I'm going to say, I'm just going to make a guess, 10 years? Could be something like that. I mean, I used to go travel with the team quite often. I'd call the games from Notre Dame. He was the guy back then. Those are the old NAIA days under Bill Tressler when the Penguins had 4 championships in a row. And with 90 seconds to go before tip-off, I want to let you know that at halftime tonight, President Mary Marcy, she's here. She will be on the air with us after she unveils the banner here on what is the eastern wall here at the Conlan Center that makes note of the fact that the Penguins, in the last 4 years, Dominican has the highest GPA among its athletes. 4 years in a row in the Pac-West Conference. So 5 years ago, we joined the NC2A and became a member of the Pac-West Conference. And then we've dominated in the classroom for the last 4 years with a cumulative GPA of 3.62. Pardon me, 3.26. Still pretty high. And Mary Marcy is going to be here to not only accept the award from the NC2A, but to unveil the banner that makes note of that incredible accomplishment. And as an instructor here at Dominican, I got to say, I'm pretty proud of our athletes. That's pretty huge. 3.26 cumulatively. These guys get up at 5 a.m. and do 500 push-ups, work out with the team, carry 17 units, and then do another 500 push-ups and go to sleep. It's a rough life when you're an athlete. It's almost as tough a schedule as when you're on the radio crew. And speaking of the radio crew, Michael Temple and Alex Swan alongside. Stuart Horn, yours truly. We're ready for the national anthem here at the Conlan Center on Penguin Radio.
Worldwide and cost. Mallory, a DU student here. I'm happy to report she's one of my students in jazz. So Jasmine and I were talking about it in class, and I told her that she was going to be broadcast worldwide, and she didn't get nervous about it at all. And she sounded absolutely beautiful. Wow, what a treat to have a live national anthem. Jasmine, you came through in a huge way. 20 minutes over and out, fans. Notre Dame in the house. And we're ready for the starting lineups. I only know the starting lineups for the
Assistant coaches are David Maldonado.
And now I've got those teams. Very good. All right, thank you, man. For Notre Dame, who are 6-14 overall, 5-9 in conference, and as mentioned, Coach George Puow is at the helm. Notre Dame, the Argonauts, going to be sending out Simon Enciso, a 5'11" senior out of San Mateo. James Northrop, a 6-foot sophomore out of Laverne, California. I think that's Swanee's hometown. Laverne. Go Laverne. Jeff Hartman, a 6'3" senior out of San Diego. He'll be out there with Johnny Hutton, a 6'5" senior out of Ripon. And Don Washington, the 6'6" junior out of San Mateo. Mike Temple and I were watching the Argonauts warm up, and that Washington is at 6'6" and 200 pounds. Washington's a low. He's just a big, frightening dude. And Washington's out there all smiles right now. For the mighty Penguins, under Booker T. Harris in his 3rd season, he's assisted by Rich Mendoza and Kurt Bond, both men in their 3rd season. The Penguins are 16-7 overall with a 10-5 Pac West record, the best in the NC2A era. The Penguins are going to be sending out number 21, Miles Carrillo, the 6-foot senior out of T-Town, Tustin, California. Dominic Taplin, the 6-foot junior, Taps out of Alameda. Matt Hayes, the 6'2" sophomore out of Yuba City. They'll be sending out the big fella, Connor Haysbert, the 6'8" senior out of Sacramento. And Johnny Bates gets the start tonight, the 6'3" sophomore out of Mission Viejo. That is right. Those are your 5 starters. And you heard right, folks. Devin Golston, not in the lineup tonight, not suited up. In the middle for the good old DUs is Connor Haysbert. And he goes up against Washington, the 6'6" junior. We're underway. Washington wins the tip, and the clock rolls. The Penguins defending the northern hoop here at the Conlan Center. And the Argonauts heave it across the court. Jeff Hartman's in there, and he's in there with Hutton. And now Enciso at the top of the key. They've got 12 on the shot clock. Enciso down low finds Washington. Washington with a pull-up. Great patience from the right side, a little bit deep. Taken down by the Penguins' Johnny Bates. 19-25, left side Carrillo, lets one fly, drifting across the paint, good.
Tough shot off the glass, fading to his left. Good start for Carrillo.
19-15, the Penguins up by 2. And Enciso now goes into the corner to Northrop. Northrop, the 6-foot sophomore out of Laverne. Surely he's out of Laverne. 19:04 to go. And Enciso into the corner now. Northrop again, throwing it around. Connor won't let him in. Heaves it across the court to Hartman, then to Washington. Hartman gets tripped up by one of the DUs, and it's on Miles Carrillo. So with 18:53 in the first half action, Carrillo picks up his first, the first for either squad. Penguins by 2 here, very early. Enciso, 3-ball, left corner, good. Holy cow, Enciso, that was a little too smooth.
That's their guy. That's the guy who will be looking to be the primary bucket maker tonight. And you saw a great screen by Washington to pick off Carrillo to free up Enciso.
Simon Enciso, the 5'11" senior out of San Mateo. The Penguins now on offense. Carrillo in the corner. He bounces it up, resets. He's got Northrop on him. They get it to the big fella, off the glass. Good for Connor Haysbert. He goes up against Washington. Now Haysbert's listed at 6'8", 230. Washington at 6'6", 200. I don't see that being accurate. Washington is a big dude. In fact, I guarantee he weighs more than Connor Haysbert, who's listed at 230. There's no way Haysbert's 30 pounds heavier than Washington.
And Haysbert took it right at him.
He did. He took it right over the top of him, no less. Here's a long two from Northup out in the far left corner, no. A little bit deep, 4-3. Penguins on top. Hayes to Bates, who's going to reset at the top of the key. Bates, second year with Booker T. Harris. He's getting better all the time. Carrillo.
It's the matchup right here, Enciso and Carrillo.
Yeah, that's a good call because Carrillo's having one of those years. 3-ball on the way by Bates. Right, good! 7-3.
Can't leave Johnny Bates. He's kind of the unsung outside shooter for the Penguins. He'll knock it down occasionally.
The sophomore Bates at 6'3". Now he's listed at 220. Wait a minute, who's doing these rosters? Bates isn't 220.
They add 20 pounds.
Yeah, okay, there you go. It's like the camera adds 10 pounds. The roster adds 20. Washington, they work it down low. He turns around and gets one in. 7-5. 17 minutes to go, fans. Penguin Radio.
Yeah, the Argonauts like to work it between Washington and Enciso. Those are our two main scorers, and we've seen it right there. Washington will do the inside work. Enciso will do most of his damage from outside.
Timeout as Dominic Taplin ties the shoes. Got to get the sneakers tight. Official timeout with 17 exactly, 7-5 Penguins. And, with Bates making shots like that and handling the point at different times, at some point, Booker T. Harris is going to have to consider the fact that Miles Carrillo's going to graduate. Who is the heir apparent? Is it Bates? You could make an argument for that.
He's played like it this season.
Into the game in place of Carrillo is Josh Armstrong, the 6'3" freshman. Another player who may be a huge part of the future. No question, Armstrong and Bates, a big part of the next few years of DU basketball. Hayes now, as the Penguins work it around, some nice ball work as Hayes gets it to the driving Johnny Bates, who has it stripped away and out of bounds and went out off of his own foot, 7-5. It's going to be Argo ball. No pressure in the backcourt as the Argonauts move from our left to right here on Media Row at Dominican University of California. And Enciso in the corner. He's got Bates plastered to him, so he's not going to do anything. Northup drives in baseline, now backs out. 3-ball and Enciso on the way. Oh, brother. And Enciso again from long range. He's doing it from both sides. 8-7 Argo.
Penguins are in the zone, and that's one guy you got to get out on is Enciso.
Armstrong works it down low in the post, right side to Connor Haysbert, another deuce. A hook shot, he just powered his way in, posted up, took it down, 9-8, 16:09 to go. Penguins on defense now as Northup has it. Hartman, a 6'3" senior out of San Diego, wings it around. Hartman's a big dude to be working the point. Now diving for it is Armstrong, literally diving for it.
Good hustle by the freshman.
Yeah, that was great. Great hustle. 15:47. I don't know if he tripped, but either way, he was able to work the ball. Even when he was sliding. Here's Taps, top of the key. Taps very close to spooning it. Right side Bates, 3-ball. Bingo! 12-8, Johnny Bates.
He just gave up the guns up right here, the 3-ball sign into the pocket, and he's matched Enciso with his 2 triples.
Enciso is definitely the threat. But if the Penguins can keep Matt Hayes plastered to him, they should be okay. All alone in the far corner. Northup 3-ball, in and out.
Northup struggling early on for the Argonauts.
Hayes brings it up. Armstrong across the timeline to the big fella. Up foul. And Connor for 2. Over the top was Hartman. And Connor will go to the line.
He's 3 for 3 to start it out. I don't know if the Argonauts are going to have an answer for Haysbert, and that might be the emphasis of Booker T. Harris's game plan. Work it in with Haysbert, and if you got an outside shooter like Bates or Carrillo and Hayes, let it fly.
14-8 and a media timeout. 15:01. You're listening to NC2A Division II basketball here on the radio home of the Penguins, radio.dominican.edu. Michael Temple and Alex Swan. This is Stuart Horn, yours truly, at courtside. And the Penguins leading so far 14-8. DU's looking good. Argonauts not looking bad. Penguins looking pretty tough so far.
Besides the 2 Enciso 3s, DU's been all over him. And if the Argonauts aren't careful, DU's going to jump out and double this lead and get it to double digits. Good start, especially without their senior leader. That's always a good sign to see other players stepping up in the roles and playing well. And Booker T. Harris has got to be happy so far.
Alex is referring to the absence of Devin Golston, not suited up tonight. And Enciso with those 2 trays, yes, that's big. But as you touched on, Alex, the fact that Northup is having a slow start makes it pretty easy, I think, for Booker T. Harris to just work Enciso to death because Northup's not hitting much.
And one defensive adjustment that we saw just last possession was the Penguins switching to a box and 1 and focusing on Enciso as the 1. So they're going to deny Enciso from getting the ball and force Northup to shoot a shot.
15:01. Until Northup gets hot, you almost have to let him shoot, or at least only keep one guy on him. So Josh Ramirez will come in for his first minutes tonight. Also Christopher Schwartz Edmiston, as Connor Haysbert will go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play that was interrupted by that timeout. Haysbert only perfect so far as he knocks this down, 15-8. Inside of 15 minutes, fans, in the first half. Johnny Hutton has come into the game, the 6'5" senior. He got the start, was out for a minute. Now he's back in there with Steven Plattenberg, who fires from the right elbow, the 6'3" senior out of Camarillo. It says Camarillo, but I think it's Camarillo. Camarillo, just this side of the grapevine on 101. 14:30 to go. The fact is, Plattenberg missed it and the Penguins came down with it. The big fella's got it, left elbow. On the way, finally missed one.
I'm okay with that shot. There's no way the freshman Cerna is going to be able to check Haysbert. I take that matchup all night.
Haysbert finally missed a shot, fans. I'm not happy to report it, but he is human. After he's starting the first 6 minutes of this game, nearly 6 minutes, El Perfecto. Penguins now on defense after the one miss by Connor Haysbert. Carl Ornair gets ready to come in. Ornair's been out for a couple of weeks. It'd be good to see how Ornair responds as Haysbert gets tied up with Corey Cerna, a 6'9" freshman out of San Dimas. 6'9" is Cerna. And for the first time in several broadcasts, here's Carl Ornair.
And you touched on it. We'll see how his level of play is being absent with that concussion.
Had the concussion, then he had a little problem during practice earlier this week. The birds fluttering around his head. Ornair is in one of my classes, and he says he's feeling well. I spoke to him before the game. 13:45 to go. Ornair in place of Haysbert, who's almost perfect tonight, is Haysbert. A nice low bounce pass into the paint. They work it to Cerna, that 6'9" freshman. And Cerna, who looked really good during warm-ups, buries the deuce from close range, 15-10, uncontested, 13.5 to go. Hughes with the ball, Edmiston, top of the key left side. He's got Edmiston against Enciso. I like that. Here's a three ball. Ornair on the way deep. Armstrong rips it away to Carrillo, three ball. He finishes from the top of the key. Tray ball, 18-10.
Anytime you get Carrillo with that much space, you know it's going to be bottoms. Great play to keep that play alive by Ramirez on the offensive glass.
That was set up by a tremendous board by Armstrong. Yes, you got to make it, but you got to get the ball first. And that Armstrong ripped it away. And by all rights, it should have been a jump ball, but Armstrong said, no, I'm just going to take it. Got it out to Carrillo, who then smoothed one in from 21 feet. 12:52 as Corey Cerna, the big fella on the Notre Dame, will go to the line. Let's see if the 6'9" freshman has the right touch. Deep. So he's good from up close. But that free throw line, that's a little farther away. 18-10. You know, these guys make it look so easy, but it's not. Second one by the freshman is perfect. 12:52 to go. The Penguins by 7 here early. Armstrong brings it up across the timeline. Drifts to the right to Edmiston. He's got Enciso just all over him. Ornair's got it in the corner. He doesn't want to fire this three. Top of the key to Armstrong. He had a clean look, no shot. Left side now Armstrong after the give and go. He's deep. Taken down by Hartman. 12.5 to go. Penguins by 7. Enciso brings it up. Right side Hartman.
Good hands.
Oh, big tip out by Armstrong. Hey, Armstrong's doing everything. Pardon me, Ramirez got his hands on that shot from the right corner. It was by the big fella, Cerna. But Ramirez was able to hop up and tip it out of bounds just to slow things down. Hartman will bring it in. Short side. See what kind of play they have scripted. Right under the bucket. They bring it back to Enciso between the circles. He's just going to reset. Oh, brother, what a great low bounce pass from Ramirez. Gets a hand on it. I thought he had all ball. He was able to strip it away from Zach Ginter, the 6'6" junior out of Henderson, Nevada.
He did have all ball. Ginter didn't go strong at all to the rack, and Ramirez took it right away.
I think that was a reaction whistle.
You see it?
The referee.
The opt-in, the quick reaction, like you called.
The referee kind of buzzed in a little early. Ginter to the line.
That's a perfect way to put it.
And Ginter misses his first one. Ramirez will take a break. Bates will come back in, and we'll see how Ginter does. Yeah, I think it was so clean, it almost seemed to the referee it couldn't possibly have been that clean.
And it was an emphatic block, too. And I like how they're working tackling off the ball with Armstrong bringing this ball up.
The Penguins have committed 4.
while the Notre Dame's just won. 18-12 after the second one goes by Ginter. Bates now. Oh, Ornair at the top of the key had a clean look, didn't take it. After he missed that 1-3, he's had a couple of good looks, but hasn't worked with it. Here goes Dom, 3-ball on the way. Well, there you go. That's the answer. 3-ball, Taplin, left side. If Taplin's open, might as well get it to him, 21-12.
Hartman knows he cannot stay with Taplin, so he has to give him space, opens up room for his jump shot.
Penguins shooting the lights out right now from beyond the arc. It's already their 4-3.
Cerna goes in against Ornair. Ornair gets a hand on it, and Ornair picks up his first, I believe. Daniel Van Victorino is coming in at the next break. Victorino, the 6'7" freshman out of Salinas, and now immediate timeout, so we'll have to wait for Van Victorino's first minutes tonight.
That's been a well-anticipated player to get on the court for the Penguins.
He's a student of mine last semester, and he didn't get a lot of time. Freshmen don't get to play too much. He and I talked a lot of basketball, and I've been dying to see his game. I've watched him play in warm-up, and but tonight he looks like he's going to get some time early. 11:34 to go, 21-12. Temple, Swan, Horn, and Dr. Mary Marcy will be here at halftime after she unveils the banner that represents the Penguins' academic GPA of 3.26, and then she'll grace us with her presence here on the air. That's going to be great. 11:34 to go. This is a good game so far. Penguins are playing really well.
It is. In the first half, and the women's game has been great, and same with the men's game. These Argonauts are coming in, don't look great on paper, but they play really hard, and when you play hard, you can get good results.
Haysberg's 2 for 3 with that free throw in there. And Bates, well, here's what Bates has done. 3 for 3, 2 outside. So Bates has come in. He gets a start tonight, did Bates. And then he's only perfect. A couple of rebounds. Bates gets 8 minutes in the first 9. That's pretty strong. Ginter will go to the line. I don't know if it's Ginter or Ginter. I keep waiting to hear Mark Carlson's pronunciation. And the first one rattles in. 11:34 to go. 21-13 now. Penguins on top. Ginter off to our right. 6'6" junior. And he makes them both.
This is interesting. Dan Victorino is the tallest Penguin on the floor right now. Coach Harris is going small.
Dan Victorino brings it in. Right side. Hayes throws it over the top of Johnny Bates. Hayes heaved it across the court from one corner to the other. And he tried to lead Bates, but he threw it over his head, 21-14, and the Argonauts get the ball back. Plattenberg has re-entered the game. To Enciso now, top of the key. Foot fake. Enciso up against Armstrong, doesn't want to do anything. Ginter has it stripped away for a moment, but gets it back. Enciso top of the key, 12 on the shot clock. He drives in left side, dishes off to the right, last instant, 3-ball on the way, and that is good by Plattenberg from the right corner.
Wow, he kind of bailed out Ginter right there and was able to put it down. He's kind of a silent assassin from outside for the Argonauts.
Now it's a 4-point game, coming up on 10.5. Hayes has got it in the left corner against Enciso. Now he drifts back to the top of the key. Van Victorino, kick off to the right side, sets the screen. Now up and around the screen, working it is Armstrong. They get it down low and whistle, and it goes back to Notre Dame. So the Penguins all of a sudden are starting to cough it up and not look too good.
Yeah, Tapp tried to take things into his own hand and get to the paint there, but 4 Argonaut defenders sagged inside the key to deny the dribble penetration. That was what caused the turnover there for Taplin.
10.5 fans. Penguins with 5 fouls, still just 1 for the Argonauts. And Ciso brings it up with that left knee with the big brace on it. Good head fake. And Ciso 3-ball from long range. Missed it very deep, loose ball. Hayes has got it. He's able to, diving out of bounds, throw it back into Bates. Hayes was held upright by the Penguin cheerleaders. Coming up on 10 minutes. A 4-point game. DU. Christopher Schwartz Edmiston with a great foot fake. Gets his guy over to Tapp. Now top of the key. Van Victorino bounces his way in. Turnaround jumper, air ball. Cerna with a rebound.
There's the jitters by Dan Victorino right there.
It might be. 3-ball left wing.
to bring the Argonauts within one. Plattenberg deep, out of bounds. Bates will bring it in. Check it, Hayes. 9:48 to go. 4-point game.
It's been prefaced, and Ciso and Plattenberg are going to be the two players that like to fire it from deep, from outside for the Argonauts. If they can shut those guys down, that cuts all the perimeter scoring out for Notre Dame de Namur.
Dominic Tappan will bring it up. Right side. He's got Hartman staring him down. Right side, Edmiston goes hard to the rack, throws it off to Johnny Bates in the middle. Hey, that was a good move. Bates throws it up, it goes through the bucket, and he played it off of his own head. Totally intentional. Sometimes you see that happen when the guys slam it down, hit themselves in the face. They don't mean to do it. Bates meant to do it. It was a good play. They had to wave it off, though. 3-ball. Edmiston, left side, a little bit deep. Loose ball, and it goes out of bounds into the guys filming for Channel 30. CM in the house. Welcoming everybody watching this game and listening to our broadcast on the Stretch Network, worldwide on Penguin Radio, 21-17, 9:25 to go. A worldwide broadcast from the Conlan Center, and there are a ton of people in the house tonight. A lot of athletes here to participate in the halftime festivities. Oh, brother, down low to Cerna, and he's all alone, able to convert.
Bates and Dan Victorino both committed outside of the perimeter, left Cerna wide open, down low. Only one can switch out. One's got to rotate back.
Yeah, and I think it's Van Victorino's the guy to follow up Cerna. You got to stay right on him. 21-19, and the Penguins with a foul and a turnover, and Ornair re-enters in place of Van Victorino. 8:56.
The Argonauts have worked their way back, being down 9 the last minute timeout.
And the Penguins, the last 5 minutes of play have not looked the way they looked so good coming out, and they've really settled down, and not in a good way. So they're going to have to get the game back. Ornair absolutely plastered to Plattenberg. That's a pretty good matchup. In the corner again, Plattenberg. He works it to the top of the key. Hartman right side. They drift it off to Northup. He's going to the baseline. Now Plattenberg. Oh, brother, he throws it away. And Christopher Schwartz, Edmiston comes up with it. He'll take it across the middle to Hayes. No looks to Taps. Taps goes in hard. On the way. Bouncing around. Oh, it bounced 3 times on the rim and out. 21-19. Taps will go to the line.
How hard does he attack the rim?
He does, and he's not a big guy. He's only listed at 6 feet.
I mean, we all know he can get up with anybody, but he goes to the tin so hard. Every time, takes contact like a champ.
He does. He bashes it with the big boys under there, and he's only 175. Tap's a quiet guy. He's one of those guys that lets his game do the talking.
I love that.
I love those kinds of players, 8-19. He's flashy, but in a subtle way. It's just because he's such a good shooter. On the line, Taplin. It was close, 8-19. I was setting him up right there, you know. Talking about Tav's free throw shooting. He was one of the best free throw shooters in the conference last year. And this is perfect. All right, the Penguins by 3. 8-16, 22-19, whenever it goes up on the board. It will eventually. And we're coming up on 8 minutes. Here's Enciso, top of the key. It still hasn't gone up on the board. I can't take my attention off of it for some reason. Enciso now, right wing. He drives in himself. He goes up against Hayes. Oh, he lifts one from close range. Can't get it to fall. Missed it right side. 7:47. Says the Penguins by 2, but it's really by 3.
You're correct.
Okay, very good. Finally, Coach Mendoza went over and talked to the scorers. 22-19, and now immediate timeout. 7:36. Fans, we'll be back in about 30 seconds. You're listening to NC2A basketball on the radio home of the Penguins, radio.dominican.edu.
Penguin Radio, radio.dominican.edu.
Fresh, edgy, energetic, smart, Sometimes crazy, but always real. It's happening here on Penguin Radio at radio.dominican.edu.
All right, folks. Well, Johnny Bates is 3 for 3. Connor Haysbert 2 for 3, although he's had a lot of time for a rest. I hope we see Connor, and it looks like he's checking in at the end of this timeout. He may be back. 7:36, guaranteed he's coming back. Taplin 1 for 1, free throw shooting 1 for 2. Taplin leading all players on the Penguin squad with 11 minutes. Matching Enciso and Hartman, both with 11 there. 1 week from tonight will be Ron Powell night here at the Conlan Center. Ron Powell was not only a great Penguin player and Penguin coach, but unfortunately at the age of 43 passed away last Sunday. And the Ronil Powell Memorial Fund will be the recipient of all proceeds from next week's game. And his son Ezekiel, who's a very young man, 4 years of age, battling a rare form of cancer, will also be the beneficiary. Right side, Hayes hits after a nice pass from Dominic Taplin, and Hayes buries the tray ball from the right corner. Now with the play-by-play is Michael Temple.
Northup gives it over to Hartman in the left wing. He looks to operate on Hayes, picks up his dribble, gives it back to Northup. Now on the right wing, Enciso, leading three-point shooter for this team. Gives it to Northup up top, forces it inside to Washington. Double team, has to give it up. 10 on the shot clock, Enciso sees it, looking to isolate. He takes Court Evanston, gets inside the key, out to 3 for Hartman. Hartman drives, 4 on the shot clock. Nice dish off inside to Ginter, and he finishes for 2.
Good weave action. Hartman curled in very strong, drew the defense, found Ginter underneath for the easy lay-in.
25-21, 6:44 left in the first half of a Bay Area rivalry here. Haysbert just checked in, gets the ball inside on the left block. He spins, goes up for 2, and finishes with the foul.
Ginter's looking at the refs like, what did I do? He cannot stay with Haysbert. I'd feed him the rock each and every time he's got position on the low block.
And Stu touched on it just about a minute ago. The Argonauts made their run with no Haysbert in the game. Coach Booker T. Harris notices that, puts Haysbert in the game, and right away they feed him for 2 and the foul. Haysbert will go to the line to try to finish off this three-point play. On the season, Haysbert is shooting it at 68%, and he knocks down the free throw.
And with the absence of Golston tonight, not suited up, Haysbert's going to have to step up, and he does so. Completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Putting the Penguins lead up to 7, 28-21. Little pressure in the backcourt, beaten easily by the Argonauts. Northup has it, getting pressured heavily by Taplin. Trying to get a 5-second call, almost does, gives it off to the right wing. Now inside, Don Washington finishes strong over Haysbert for 2.
That is a tough move down low, lowered the shoulder, went right up over Haysbert, and was able to lay it in.
28-23, O'Neill has it, finds a backdoor cutting Matt Hayes. Cross-court pass, Taplin now has it up top of the key. He banks it in. Off the glass, three-pointer's good.
Is Taplin smiling? I don't think we've ever seen Taplin smile, but he got window there, and I think he's cracking up about it.
That is a good point. You don't see Taplin cracking a grin like that too often, but he knew he got a little bit lucky there. Calls bank, and he knocks it in for a nice three-pointer. 31-23, Penguins up 8. They've dropped back into that soft zone. The 1-3-1. Northup has it up top. Trying to find Washington inside, can't, so Enciso has it on the left wing. Now Washington gets it, and his pass to the right wing is thrown out of bounds.
Haysbert and Washington got something going. Those guys are going at each other off ball in the biggest way possible. I mean, on that last play, it looked like Haysbert was lying on Washington. As Washington bent over, Haysbert was just all over the top of him. They didn't even have the ball.
And Haysbert will do that from time to time. He will get chippy and make sure that his presence is felt inside, both offensively and defensively.
I love that. Ball. 2 big men battling down low.
Taplin tried to force the ball into Haysbert, but it's stolen. They trap Northup in the corner, and it's going to be thrown off his leg out of bounds. Argonauts will keep the ball.
Yeah, that's a good call there, Swanee. Watching 2 big old water buffaloes just battle it out is so fun.
And I love it even more because Haysbert's usually coming out on top.
Couldn't have said it better myself. He usually is coming out on top. They drop back in the zone. 5:11 left in the first half. 31-23. Penguins up 8 in a huge Pac West game for both teams. Northup has it. Give it over Enciso, the 2-3 zone. Might force him to shoot from outside. Northup does. He's short. Rebound Haysbert.
They will give Northrop that shot any day over in CISO taking the 3.
Hayes, corner 3, left corner, good!
Great look. It's about time Hayes is on the scoreboard, and you know he loves those corners.
34-23, causing Coach Puo to use a timeout here with 4:44 in the first half. Huge 3 from Hayes in the corner.
That was big because it's going to force George Puo to rethink things if Hayes starts to get hot from the corners. And as you guys touched, Hayes loves the corners. When he gets hot out there, you've got to adjust your entire defensive game plan for a guy like that. And guys like that put the Penguins up big, and they are up big by 11 now.
And guys like that stretch the floor. That opens up Haysbert, that opens up Taplin, because you can't leave Hayes. If you leave Hayes, he's going to make you pay.
Definitely, Hayes did make him pay, and that swells the lead up to 11, the biggest lead of the game for the Penguins, starting to make their run like they did early in the first half. 4:44 left here in the first half before we have our academic achievement ceremony led by President Mary Marcy, where they will be unveiling the 4 consecutive straight team GPAs award.
That was straight and consecutive.
Yeah, straight, and we're still going, so it could go up to 5.
That's right. Who knows? We may only be halfway through.
That's definitely true.
It might go 8.
I hope so. And I wouldn't expect anything less from the student athletes here at Dominican University of California. We resume play. Northrop has it up top. Gives it off to the right wing where Johnny Hutton has it. Now Plattenberg, a great 3-point specialist, gets inside the key. Gives it back to Hutton. Plattenberg now has it, right elbow. Good defense by the Penguins, 6 on the shot clock. Northrop has it, he can't shoot very well, they know that. They get off to Plattenberg, 2 seconds on the shot clock, and CISO in the corner, in and out, rebound Haysbert.
That was an outstanding pass by Plattenberg, though, to swing it over in the corner to Enciso.
Matt Hayes just knocked down a 3, but he gives it off, swung around the perimeter to Ornair. First game back from the concussion, picks up his dribble, gives off to Taplin. 34 feet from the basket, Hayes has it on the right wing. He looks to isolate on Plattenberg, gives over to Ornair, 3, up, and good!
Great spacing. You got Taplin, Schwartz, Edmiston, Hayes, and Ornair all can fire from deep. The spacing is beautiful right now for DU.
So far, Carl looks pretty good, and I'm glad to see him get off the schneid with that long 3.
Penguins shooting the lights out right now, 37-23. Washington comes back the other way, finishes hard for 2 on the left block.
That just shows, right, what Stu said earlier. Washington is not 200 pounds. He just barreled over Connor Haysbert.
Which is a tough cast for anyone to do. Haysbert trying to come back right at him. He gets it, nice shot, and he finishes for 2. They're going at each other.
Boy, that was a big answer for Washington. Haysbert, no lie.
No lie at all. Battle of the bigs.
39-25 in a high-scoring game here. 3 minutes left in the first half. Washington gets it back, trying to answer. He misses, but they're going to call a foul. A late whistle there by the ref.
Did Washington get away with the hook? It almost looked like he hooked Haysbert trying to go to the rack.
And that's what Hazer is talking about right now to the ref. Exactly that same thing. He gestures with the pull around
chicken
elbow.
wing.
Yeah, the chicken wing. A good use of wordage there. We're going to have another media timeout here. 3 minutes and 6 seconds left. 39-25 in a huge Pac West game. And we talked about it a little bit in the women's game. The Dominican men's basketball team is only 1 game out of second place.
That's huge. And with Chaminade going down to Point Loma, DU only half game back. Like you said, just a 1 game back in Dixie State. Dixie State is coming in here on February 20th for Ron Powell night, as Stu touched on. Man, these last 4 to 5 games of this Pac West Conference is going to come down to the wire.
And it sets up perfectly for Dominican, as they do have Dixie State coming in to the Conlan Center in what will be a revenge game. They knocked Dixie State out of the top 25 ranking, so you know they're going to want to come back and get some revenge on the Penguins.
Connor Haysbert has still just missed the 1 shot. Otherwise, he's perfect. So to be perfect 5 minutes into the game is impressive. To be 1 shot off of perfect 17 minutes into the game, that's almost unheard of. It's otherworldly. And he's having one of those nights. And he's playing beautiful defense, too. He's got a bunch of well, he's only got a pair. But every one that he goes up for, Haysbert's a part of. Anytime the ball's bouncing around, Haysbert's close by, throwing the elbows and bashing guys around.
Do you think that's going to have to be his new role? With Golston out, is Haysbert going to have to start stepping up and maybe be the guy on offense, especially down low?
He's going to have to be the guy. I mean, you can make an argument that he already is the guy. 3:06 to go. On the line is Washington. Double Nichols. Washington 55. He buries the first one. So the big fella's got some nice touch. Penguins have committed 7. Argonauts with just 4. We are going to be staying live through halftime as well for the academic achievement ceremony. Second one is missed. 2 Penguins went after it. It slipped out of the fingers of Haysbert and Dominic Taplin, and lying in wait for the Argonauts was Johnny Hutton, and he puts it back. Boy, that was unfortunate.
That was the true definition of look what I found.
39-28 after Hutton knocks down the, I don't want to say lucky 2, none of them are easy. Down low, the Penguins work it. Connor, hook shot over the top of Washington. Missed it, Bates with a rebound. Hayes now, low bounce pass to Dom under the bucket. Nobody there. Hello, ball.
Wow, that pass had some mustard on it going underneath the Taplin.
That was a great low bounce pass, and the 6-foot Taplin, the junior, is able to knock it down. 2:09 to go. And Ciso steals it back, and they're able to go back to Hutton again, 41-30. Hutton, it seems like Hutton the last couple plays has benefited from just being in the perfect position, 2:03 to go.
Sometimes you're better than lucky than you're good.
41-30, Penguins on top. Taplin's got it. Now they work it over into the corner. Armstrong, now the Penguins just waiting. Really, all of a sudden, the Penguins are very patient. No look into the corner. Bates, 9 on the shot clock. Connor, foot fake. Connor goes in hard. Connor misses it left side. Put back by Hayes. Matt Hayes in perfect position to tap it back home. Hayes, who's only listed at 6'2", got way above the rim and was able to put it back down. 97 seconds to go in the first half. Penguins by 13. Washington goes top of the key. Drives it right side. Plattenberg thinks better of it. He goes baseline, and Ciso 3-ball, limp-wristed, no. Washington with the rebound, and the hook shot of the putback, good.
My goodness. Don Washington's having himself a first half. Went way up high for the rebound. Put on the deck once, over his left shoulder. He's impressed me tonight.
1 minute to go, 43-32. Haysbert now, one bounce pass, one dribble and a bounce pass into the corner. Penguins are just going to work the clock a little bit. Armstrong into the corner, 3-ball, taps on the way. Horseshoe. Haysbert with a rebound. Haysbert is fouled. No? Yeah, I believe he is fouled. He had to be. Yeah. It's going to be on Northrop.
Yeah, they're going to call that foul on the ground, which is surprising. I thought he was going up in the act of shooting, but they're going to call it before he actually went up for the shot attempt.
46 seconds to go, Notre Dame with their 5th. The Penguins have committed 7 here in the first. So DU ball right under the bucket. Taps brings it in. Top of the key Bates. We got a shot clock reset. Taps now, one of the great ball handlers in the conference. You're not going to steal it away from him. You can put a little pressure on him, but you're never going to get it away from him. He's just too tough. Taps sets a screen. Left side, Armstrong throws it away. Bates comes up with it. 15 on the shot clock, whistles. Timeout, Booker T. Harris.
Good timeout from Coach Harris. Still have 14 on the shot clock. Offense was in a little bit of a scramble mode. Get a good shot here to try to push this lead to 13.
Yeah, and get that last shot of the half. We talk about it all the time. It's great to go into the clubhouse having just scored, going into the clubhouse at the half, establishing dominance, 11-point lead right now. You're listening to NC2A basketball, Penguin style, on the radio home of the Penguins, radio.dominican.edu. Mike Temple, Alex Swan, Stuart Horn, yours truly. This broadcast is brought to you by the Media Studies, Communications and Media Studies Department here at DU. Chair of the department is Brad Van Alstine. 25 seconds to go. 14 on the shot clock. Edmiston will bring it in right in front of the Argonaut bench. He's gotten Ciso in his face. They go into the backcourt now. We're back underway. Clock rolls 20. Taps brings it across. The timeline left side 7. He drifts right 6. Picks up the screen 4. Bates 3-ball straight away. With a good look, Johnny Bates! Draymond! 46-32. And Ciso brings it up. 4 seconds. Drives in. 2. Blocked out of bounds by Haysbert. Foul. And
All
Ciso,
ball, but got him with the body.
And Ciso hits the deck. That's Haysbert's second. And Ciso was driving hard. And Ciso paid the price. I don't want to go up against Haysbert.
How about that pick and pop, though, by Johnny Bates? 3 tray balls in the first half.
That's a good call. That was a great shot. He had a great look. And sometimes great players take that look and just...
He's shooting it with confidence.
Yeah, there was no doubt when he got the pass that he was going to fire the shot, and there was no doubt it was in from the instant it left his fingers. First one's good. And he makes them both. And Cecil, boy, he's a tough player. Inbounds now, 1 second and a half. Taps, fires off the attempted shot from the midcourt insignia right in the middle of the house on the buzzer. And he hit the glass just above the rim, straight away. Just a little bit deep. 46-33, that's our score at the half. So far, if you're a Penguin fan, you got to like what you see.
Oh, yeah. Nearly hanging half 100 on the Argonauts in the first half. It's been Haysbert, and you've had the tray balls going from the outside from Bates and Hayes and Schwartz-Emerson. Taplin's done well handling the point, and they have really controlled Enciso, which has helped. And Haysbert, touching on him, has been named to the Casita Academic All-District team. Touching on Haysbert being a great athlete, not only on the court, but a very intelligent man in the classroom as well.
Yeah, as you mentioned, named Connor Haysbert to the Capital One Academic All-District NC2A Division II men's basketball team for District 8 in the Western region. The honor was announced by the College Sports Information Directors of America. There are 8 geographic districts comprised of 5 student athletes. That's pretty big. We got Connor Haysbert, the big fella. Haysbert, a bioscience major, boasted a 3.72 cumulative GPA through the fall semester.
To top it off, he's the Pac-West Player of the Week. He's doing everything.
Yeah, he's just doing everything. Both sides of the ball, and he's doing a great job. Chili, the Penguins in the house, the Penguin cheerleaders here. We're going to stay here through halftime, fans, because any moment now, President Mary Marcy is going to come out and recognize our student athletes here at Dominican. Tonight, of course, is Student Athlete Night. And as we have mentioned, 4 years running, the Penguin athletes have the highest cumulative GPA in the Pac-West Conference. 13 schools in 7 western states make up the conference, and 4 years in a row, the Dominican students have the highest cumulative GPA. We've only been in the NC2A for 5 years. 4 of those years we've led it academically.
I'd love to see the streak continue.
As a teacher, you're not kidding. I cannot tell you how proud it makes me because I know how hard it is.
What's that feeling like?
Well, it really
paying off.
It really is great because I know how hard these kids work, and certainly I refer to them kids affectionately, but of course none of them are kids really. But these people get up very early and they do a lot of sit-ups and they work really hard for their coaches, and they're motivated, good people. I mean, here's Haysbert, 3.72, a bioscience guy, and he's a starter for Booker T. Harris. Just to start for Booker T. Harris is a huge accomplishment. But then to carry such a high GPA in let's face it, that's a pretty tough major.
Oh, that's a very tough major.
Not that communications isn't tough. It's very tough. But 3.72 in bioscience, that says a lot. So Brandon Leinbach, the AD here at Dominican, is making his way out to the middle of the house in front of a gigantic crowd, along with President Mary Marcy and the student athlete liaison, Professor Chris Leeds, and they are ready to unveil the banner here on the eastern wall, the Conlan Center, which is just above us. So there's Casey Gibson and Chili the Penguin are going to pull the cords to unveil this banner as all of the Penguin athletes are making their way out onto the floor now to be recognized by President Marcy, who's out there with the coaches and all the players, and Brandon Leinbach and Chris Leeds. You're listening to Penguin Radio right here at Dominican University of California. The volleyball team and the softball team have made their way out onto the floor, followed by looks like a lacrosse team and soccer players.
Of the men's soccer team became the first Dominican student athlete to win a place
All right.
Temple's part of that.
So Mike Temple, he's also being recognized, but he's going to stay standing by here on the radio spot. Mike, you don't want to go out on the floor?
No, I'd rather stay in the radio. Sorry.
You're committed.
It's where
Are you
I want to
kidding?
be.
Yeah. I'm the last guy you need to apologize to. I prefer you to stay here. It means a lot to me. So literally, I'm going to say, well, there are hundreds of student athletes here at Dominican, and they're all coming out, with the exception, of course, Mike Temple, who's standing by here at Penguin Radio. Brandon Davis is in the house. He's the SID of the year last year, among the other 13, or pardon me, the other 12 SIDs, 13 total in the conference. So the Pac West SID of the year, Brandon Davis, he's taking some pictures, and he's out there with Brennan Leinbach and Mary Marcy. By the way, Mary Marcy, after the ceremony has concluded, has agreed to join us here at Penguin Radio. She'll be on for just a few minutes. And so Brandon Leinbach gets to present this award on behalf of the Pac West to President Marcy, and he's just done that. And she's holding it up and letting all of the athletes revel in this moment. And we are ready to unveil the banner, which is a big deal. 4 years running, the Penguin athletes have managed a 3.26 GPA. Here we go. We're about to unveil. For those of you watching on the Stretch Network, this has got to be compelling television. It is to us. So Meg Herring, Reed Upson, and Casey Gibson, who are all Dominican athlete alumni, and Chili the Penguin are going to unveil the banners, and there they are, folks. The Academic Achievement Award for 2010, 11, 12, and 13 belong to Dominican. 4 years in a row. And I don't know if in the NC2A Division II, any school in the country has ever gone 4 years. But I can't believe many have done that. And to win it once is gigantic. To win it 4 times, are you kidding?
I'd love to see that stat.
So we're going to have Mary Marcy any moment, and we'll want to get her set up right here. And you're going to work the controls there. Patrick Davis alongside. He's a communication student, and he's listening in. And so we'll have Mary Marcy's words in just a moment. She's going to talk about a few things. Right now, she's going to go ahead and congratulate, I believe, each and every athlete here at the Conlan Center. So you've got, to be a part of the NC2A, you have to be able to field 12 sports teams. And you've got everything from golf and tennis to volleyball, soccer, softball, basketball. I mean, the list goes on. And they're all out here. All of these student athletes are lined up. And I got to say, Swanee, it's kind of nice to see not only the athletes out here, but most of the guys are in suit and tie. And the women are really dressed up. And this is a big event.
Oh, it's huge. And they're looking sharp. Like you said, suit and tie. And it's nice to see all the smiles on the athlete's face. Like all their hard work has paid off. Now they're getting rewarded in front of the whole student body.
Yeah, this is just super. And we're going to bring in Mary Marcy here in just a moment. Yeah, that's right. So just a few moments left in halftime, and tonight, Nicola Pitchford has just stopped by the broadcast booth. I want to bring in President Mary Marcy. Hello, Dr. Marcy.
Stuart, hi.
It's nice to see you, and what a great night. 4 years in a row. I was just talking to the guys about this Academic Achievement Award. It's got to make you feel pretty good. I mean, the minute you set foot on a place, the standard goes way up.
You know, I'd like to take credit for it, but I think that we've been building a program for a long time, and I was just happy to come in and see that there was a standard for both athletics and academics that was one that we wanted to build from, and we have. You know, they take what they do on the court and on the field seriously, and really thoughtful and really smart about how they spend their time off the court, and it shows. I think that the athletes work hard together on the court, but they also know how to study together. They work in a team kind of across the board.
Alex asked me a moment ago how I felt about it, and I have to say I'm very excited and proud of these guys, because to be an athlete at Dominican, it's not an easy thing to make one of these teams, first off. But then you have to get up at 5 a.m. and do 500 push-ups, and then work out with the team, and then go carry 17 units, and then work out again with the team and do 500 more push-ups, and then you get a few hours sleep and you do it again.
Yeah, that's right.
They almost never get a day off.
Yeah, it's a very different way to go to college, and for people who think it's mostly just hang out with your friends and maybe go to a few classes. There's a level of discipline and intensity that's really important to it. And you're right. They get up really early. The only people you see on campus between about 5:30 and 7:30 in the morning are student athletes and a few beer usually.
It's so true. And do you I know last year the cumulative GPA was 3.26. I don't know what it is this year. Or is that the 2013 number?
No, I think that was, it's going up this year, right? We got the first semester, we were pushing 3.4. We're not quite there, we're at 3.39.
Wow.
First semester. We'll see how we do the second semester on that front, but we're working hard to increase it a little bit every year because we don't want anybody to gain on us.
President Mary Marcy is our guest at halftime, just a few minutes until we resume play, where the Penguins lead 46-33 over Notre Dame, Namur. And, you touched on something a minute ago that when people think, I've heard people say, when my kid grows up, he or she is just going to go to college. Of course they're going to go to college, but they're going to get a scholarship, because anybody can do that, right? You just go to a few classes, you go to a lot of parties. I don't know, whatever happens at those parties, but it's easy to get a scholarship. It's not that easy.
No, it's not at all. And as our teams become more competitive, and they've gotten more competitive every year, and you can see it on the court today, it gets harder to get a scholarship, and you earn it, and then you have to earn the right to keep it.
Yeah, and anybody that thinks, as Dominican goes on with this high GPA among the student athletes, that athletics has suffered as a result. No, they've both gone hand in hand. They've increased. We've only been in 5 years, and we've won it 4 years in a row. Has there ever been another school in D2 to win it 4 years in a row? I don't think there
Not
has.
that I know of. Not that I know of. There's a great saying about, they always say sport builds character, and I think it does, but to some degree it also reveals character. And part of what we're recruiting here are people that care about who they are as citizens, and who they are as students, and who they are as athletes, and it shows.
And who they are as broadcasters as well. Michael Temple, who's sitting behind you, who was doing the play-by-play in the first half with me, decided to stay alongside in the booth instead of to go out on the floor, because he said, I'm a broadcaster. This is my thing. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
That made me feel like $1 million.
Absolutely.
So with a couple minutes left, do you want to talk about what's going on? What phase are we in? Joe Fink would come on every once in a while, of course, your predecessor, and he would talk about, we're in phase 3, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to open this chapel and that science center, and these are the things we're going to do over the next couple of years. Do you want to talk about what you're going to do over the next couple of years?
Well, I just remembered to number my phases, so that's a problem right there.
Okay.
But actually, there's some pretty exciting things happened this semester, and we were about halfway through the renovation of Meadowlands Hall, and that's going to become a state-of-the-art health sciences complex, retaining all of the character and the beauty of that old building, but upgrading it for health sciences, which is one of the strengths of the university. We expect that to be done in another year. And so we'll have to have a ribbon cutting and the full ceremony and open it to the whole community. So we're excited about that. And in about a month, we're hoping to have an announcement where we can talk about the next decade ahead for the institution and really outline a vision across the board for what we're going to do with academics, what we're going to do with athletics, what we're going to do with the physical campus. So it's an exciting time.
And you've had great success in all of the things. It just seems like yesterday, we've got a new president. When's the new president start? And now it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
And you've accomplished so much. What has happened in the last 2 years? And has it met your expectations, exceeded them?
So I think I went from being a new president to a used president.
Come on.
You lose that value as soon as you drive off the lot. Isn't that how that goes?
That's funny.
No, we've had a great time. It's a place that has a lot of students who are really serious about their education, but they also want to have fun, and that's the right combination, I think. We have students that as I often say, they look like California, and they look like the future of this country, which means that it's highly diverse, lots of students first generation going to college, but others that are great Dominican legacies that have been here a long time. And through all of that, it's a real community. So when I go across campus, I don't see students segmenting by any particular group, whether it's the basketball team or a particular race or a particular class. They're community. They're a Dominican community, and it's a big part of who we are, I think. We support each other, and we reinforce the vision of the whole institution. And the students are really at the heart of everything we do.
And that's really well said, because all the way back to the days when I was a student here, to recognize the fact that they don't join up by clique, by team, by race, by any of that stuff. You're absolutely right. It seems like they join up as Dominicans.
Yeah, I think that's one thing, something that's been a part of the culture here for years, as far as I can tell, and it's a really special part of Dominican, is that you identify with the Dominican community, not with some subgroup and, wander off and you remember only a small part of it. You remember the whole place. And we remember you, and I think that people come back. I see some alums at the games. I see a lot of folks come back because they feel a connection to the place, and they're right. They're right to feel that.
You must feel great about things on a night like this, where the academics and the athletics all come together.
And the guys are shooting the lights out of the threes.
Hey,
that
how about
pretty
that?
Good too.
All right, thank you very much, President Marcy, for being here. It's great to have you with us. 1948, the clock rolls. We're back underway in the second half. We'll have Swanee on the air here in just a moment with the play-by-play, but for now, Horn with you as Dominic Taplin drives in, baseline left side, 19:36 to go, and he converts the two. Our thanks to President Marcy for sitting in with us here on Penguin Radio, radio.dominican.edu. The Penguins by 15 here in the second half, 19:24 to go, and the soft jumper by Washington on the right side. He's fouled by Connor Haysbert. 19:23 to go. Says Haysbert's third, and that could be of some big concern to Booker T. Harris. However, the Penguins' lead is 15. 19:23 to go. Washington to the line. That's nice to get the president on the air, Swanee. Talk about the campus, talk about the people here, everything she observes. She's a great leader, I gotta say it.
To see where this school is going, she's not content with where it's been at or these 4 academic achievement awards. She's going to build this into a huge community. Her words of wisdom were very touching. You did a great interview, by the way.
Thanks. I hope she's around a long time. As Joe Fink was here for 23 years, and he was a great guy. He was the president when I was a student here. And it's so important to have a good leader when you're a student, and certainly when you're part of the faculty, as I've been lucky enough to become. So we're coming up on 19 minutes with the play-by-play. Here's a Swanee.
Here's Carrillo. It's over to Hayes, left northern corner. Penguins are up 13, just under a minute here into the second half. Carrillo working, kicked out to Schwartz Edmiston, 10 on the shot clock. It's Taplin, gets inside to the rack, scoops up, gets the bucket to go, and one.
Beautiful job attacking the rim by Taplin. He went strong and knew what his agenda was. That was a finish for 2 and get the contact, and now go to the line for one more.
Beat Hartman off the bounce, and that's no new news to any other team, as Taplin just beats about anybody off the bounce.
Yeah, one of the quickest first steps in the league for sure. Taplin can do it all, shoot from outside like we've seen today, and just like this last play, get to the rim.
He's at the line, gets his free throw to roll in to convert the three-point play. Lead is back up to 16. Little half-court trap pressure by DU. It's Hutton, he hands off to Hartford, and now Northrop comes to get it up top. Dominican in man. To start the second half now, it's Northrop. An offensive foul down low by Washington.
And Haysbert from the bench yells thank you because he believes he should have got that call 2 possessions ago, and basically the whole game here. Finally get one to go as Schwartz Edmiston drew the foul.
Full court pressure by the Argonauts. Taplin's trapped right in front of half court. He's able to get it off to Bates, who hands off to Carrillo. They'll set it up. Here's Hayes, puts it on the deck. Kicked out, Johnny Bates, he's 3 for 3 from outside, make it 4 for 4, he's cooking. And he's feeling himself.
Yes, he is. What a shot.
54-35, Penguins are up 19, and just like the women's, They've extended the lead in the second half. Here's Washington.
Oh, does Bates look good?
Working on Bates underneath, and he's able to power it up and in.
Washington's been the only one keeping the Argos in the game here.
Schwartz Emerson beats the Argonauts back quickly. Finds Carrillo. They'll go up top to Hayes. Around the horn to Schwartz Emerson. Goes baseline. Cut off. Kicked out to Hayes. He's going to try a three, and it's good.
Why not? They're all falling right now.
Penguins are unconscious in the second half from outside. 57-37.
George Puow's forced to double up Bates because he can't miss. So Hayes takes his turn at it. Perfect.
Here's Northup feeding Washington down low. It comes out in the right southern corner. A three by Enciso doesn't go down. Hayes has got the rebound. No look to Carrillo. He's going to tee up a three.
Again.
Penguins are on fire. 60-37. Coach Puio's going to have to spend a timeout in Temple and Stu. Penguins can't miss right now.
I'm so stoked to watch these guys counter what George Puow throws at the Penguins. And Puow is an experienced coach. He's won a lot of awards. Puow's won a lot of games. The guy knows how to coach. He's one of the best in the conference. And no matter what he throws at Booker T. Harris, the Penguins have answered, and they've answered big.
I was just looking at the coach's huddle for NDNU. Coach Puo had one word, and it was wow. And the assistant coaches didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
But what can you do? You come out and the Penguins hit 4 for 4 from downtown. You can't really do much. That's just great shooting.
Yeah, when a head coach is speechless, that's a problem. And for maybe the first time in the last decade that I've watched Coach Puo do his thing, I've never seen him say wow and not say anything else. But that's what the Dinos have thrown at him here in the second half.
And they've built a 23-point lead. I know what you mean. Some of the assistant coaches were just kind of scratching their head. You can't really game plan from that. Penguins are just on fire. Argonauts still have plenty of time to try to get back in this ball game. There's 17:05 remaining in the second half.
Hey, how about a shout out to the greatest TA in the world, Leona George Davidson, who's listening up in Novato right now, who's only as big a part of the Penguin radio program as anybody's ever been.
Absolutely. And she's amazing.
Yeah, she is. She's a big part of things. And she'll be the executive producer. Tomorrow's Penguin Press Pass comes on at 12:30 live tomorrow, and you'll want to tune in for that. 16:54 to go. Here's Mike.
And we're going to have a foul on Johnny Bates, his first foul, second team foul. We're at 16 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game. This is a huge point of the game for the Argos. They need to make their run now as they trail by double digits. Enciso inbounds the ball, finds it out to Katak, getting his first minutes of the game. Gives it off to Enciso on the left wing. Good D by Hayes, forces Enciso to pass it over to Katak. Katak drives, hangs, misses the shot wildly. Rebound, Edmondson, and they're going to call a foul on the rebound, so the Argos will remain possession.
Katak, a wild shot in the lane. I thought Schwartz Emerson came down with that blade cleanly.
You know, you guys, we talked early in the game about getting the other team frustrated in that zone, and that's exactly what Booker T. Harris has managed here in the second half.
They inbounded to Ginter, and the big boy travels. Took way too many steps before he thought about shooting.
And the frustration level, like you said, is very high. They can't even really get a good look right now, the Argonauts.
That is why the lead is at its biggest right now, 60-37, 16 minutes left in the game. Penguins looking to extend that win streak to 6 games. Only one loss at home. Carrillo has it, dribbles out, pass to Schwartz Emerson. His three just misses. And the way they're shooting right now, you expect everyone to fall. But they're only human.
Even though it didn't go down, how about that pass from Carrillo? He had his back to Schwartz Emerson. He gets cut off. He knows where his teammates are, wheels around, a beautiful pass, almost went down.
And coming back the other way, Enciso was trapped and fouled. 4th team foul, second on Johnny Bates. Just picked up 2 quick fouls in the last minute. Taking his place is going to be Carl Owner. He hit a 3 earlier. Plattenberg inbounds in the southern end of the Conlan Center. Enciso, nice pass inside to Cerna, and Cerna finishes for 2.
Touched on it, but that was a beautiful touch and lob pass over the top to Cerna by Enciso. That's a tough angle.
Carrillo brings it up on the right wing. Good defense by Enciso, but Carrillo beats it. Kick out to Hayes, right corner 3. You know what it's doing. Up and good!
You were calling it before it even went down. Anytime Carrillo's in the lane penetrating, it's going to leave Schwartz, Emerson, or Hayes open for three. That's his corner.
Yeah, don't leave Hayes open in a corner. Bad mistake. Taplin might chase down a wild throw. He does. He's going up. Has 4-on-1. He does that. Slams it down.
Taplin. If you didn't know he was got highlights, you just found out.
Tomahawk chop. Had a 4-on-1 break, but decides to take it himself. Finishes for an emphatic dunk.
And Ciso did the smart play and he got out of the way.
That was a bona fide slam dunk.
And Carrillo now gets a steal in the back. Around the back pass. Hayes has it. They're playing like the Harlem Globetrotters right now. Three-pointer up and just misses. That would have brought the house down as the ball bounces out of bounds. Argos with the rock.
Oh, you called it. Taplin brought the house down, and that beautiful save by Carrillo to Hayes behind the back, that would have just blown the roof off this place.
The last 4.5 minutes of play, the Penguins could beat anybody in the conference. No question about it. They've been, I mean, a couple of the most tremendous saves, including that one right in front of us here on Media Row by Miles Carrillo, falling out of bounds, note behind the back on the way out, and the three is just raining. The Penguins are looking as good as I've ever seen them.
Yeah, I was going to say that. This second half, and this whole game in general, has really been a microcosm of the whole season. The Penguins have really played tough and been a tough out for any team. They could beat any team, like you said, Stu, especially the way they're playing right now. And it's evident on both the defensive and offensive sides. The heart, determination, and hustle of this team is really showing off.
I got a question for you, Temple. When Taplin gets a loose ball on the break, does your heart start pounding a little bit because you know showtime is coming?
It was, and that's why my decibels here were going way out of the roof. I knew what was coming. It was going to be a slam. And I hope you guys, the listeners, could tell here. My voice is definitely elevating.
Great call.
And he slammed it down with a nice right-handed tomahawk chop like he normally does. It's really getting me excited over here.
Yeah, we just got an email into the broadcast booth from a listener who says, an emphatic slam. That was great, and great vocabulary and enthusiasm. Hey, that's good. People are paying attention, Mike, just as you were hoping.
It's nice to get the feedback like that. So thank you, listeners out there. Make sure you stay tuned all season and to the different radio shows, because the radio program here at Dominican is really something special.
I can't wait to see Taplin's highlight film at the end of the year.
Oh, man, that's true. That last play will be a part of it.
Coming back the other way, and Ciso has it. 65-39, Penguins up. Ball gets inside to Cerna. Cerna cannot finish. A wild shot, missed. Carrillo with the rebound. Carrillo wants to push, doesn't have the numbers, gives up to Onair, fakes the three. Carrillo gets it back, now right wing. Armstrong has it. Matt Hayes in the corner. No, Schwartz Emerson in the corner. He hangs, gives it off to Armstrong. Wild passing. Onair has it swung out to Carrillo for three, and it's gone! What in the world are we watching right now?
Scramble mode, possession, doesn't matter. Find your one and only true.
Are the DU shooting 80% outside, or
They gotta be.
Carrillo knocks down another one, 68-39. This lead is getting bigger. Plattenberg trying to answer. He misses a three, but an offensive rebound and put back for Ginter.
Way to fly in there by Ginter.
That was great positioning.
And the Argonauts looking for any kind of answer that might help stop the run. 68-41. Schwartz Emerson on the left wing. He looks to drive, gets to the paint, gives over to Taplin on the right wing. Now to Armstrong. Conlan to the left wing. Schwartz Emerson, very good shooter. Decides to give it off to Armstrong. 14 on the shot clock, 13:45 on the game clock. He drives Onair, catches a wild pass, gives it up to Edmondson for a three. That one's knocked down!
If you're Ginter and Katak, why are you helping right now? You got to stay out on the perimeter. They are lighting you up from downtown. You got to guard the shooters.
This must be a video game because every three is going down. A steal by Armstrong. They look to push. 2 on 3. They decide to pull it back out. Schwartz Emerson, another one. This one's up, and it's in and out, but a rebound by Onair. Why not keep casting them if you're making them?
Penguins are having fun.
Taplin now has it, trying to operate traffic. Looks like an ISO. Gives it off to Carrillo in the right corner. Baseball pass cross court to Schwartz Emerson. Nice job. Swings out to Taplin. Wide open three. Oh, in and out again as the Argonauts grab the rebound.
They're not going down there right there.
And Ciso has on the left wing. Trying to find the postman, doesn't. He drives, takes himself left block, hangs and finishes for 2. Nice take by the point guard.
He is, and you know Enciso's not going to give up and quit.
He is their leading scorer and one of their best players. Finishes for 2. 71-43. Lead at its biggest point. Just last possession, Schwartz Emerson has on the left wing. Finds Onair inside, but a kickball before it gets to him.
And this second half, even though it's getting away from the Argonauts, this has been one of the most entertaining halves I've seen from the Penguins, even though it's not a close game like we're used to seeing at the Conlan Center down to the wire. Just the beauty of the basketball being played by the Penguins has been phenomenal.
Pretty high level right now.
Inbounded to Ramirez, who just checked in. Now O'Nair on the right wing, and we have an injury, it looks like, in the left corner. The last thing you want to see in a game like this. Did any of you see what happened there? He's in the far corner from us. Can't really tell what happens.
I can't even tell who it is.
I think it's Schwartz Edmonston.
Yeah, you might be right. The trainer's out there on checking on him. Schwartz Edmonston. It is Christopher Schwartz Edmonston who's down on his back. He's really writhing in pain. That left, it looks like the trainer's gone to the left ankle. He's in the far corner on the opposite side of the court. And now they're going to help him up, and let's see. All right. Christopher Schwartz Edmonston is up, but 0 weight on the left ankle as they bring him off. So I don't know if it's a cramp. Let's hope that's all it is. Schwartz Edmonston is a huge piece of this puzzle. The sophomore who's being tended to by the trainer now. So we'll bring you an update on him as we get it. 12:29 to go, 71-43 Penguins.
And here we got Swanee going to take over play-by-play for the rest of this half.
It's Armstrong on the inbound. Penguins have gotten after it to build a 28-point lead. The Argonauts still decide to play zone. Lazy pass by O'Nair, saved by Armstrong. 3 on the shot clock. Haysbert bobbled it out of bounds. It's going to go over to the Argonauts.
Hayes no-looked him, and the big fella didn't even see it coming.
I think Haysbert was expecting a shot up on the rim.
That's the problem with no looks. They look great when they work, but oftentimes the player, the recipient, doesn't even know it's coming.
I hear you. Argonauts have possession. It's Enciso. He's working on Ramirez. Blows by him. Nice wraparound pass. Rejected by Ramirez, though. Saved. Down to 13 on the clock. Underneath to Cerna. He can't handle it. Excuse me, that was Ginter. He couldn't handle the pass. And it's going to stay with the Argonauts media timeout. 71-43. Penguins have been on fire in the second half.
All right, Penguin fans. Got a special game for you guys.
And we're enjoying a nice performance by Chile. As Stu's going to go check on the status of Schwartz Edmonston. We hope he is okay, because when everything's going so great, you're up by 28 and then you lose a vital piece. You can't lose any more players. You already lost one of your captains in Golson. So you got to hope that this injury isn't too pivotal for Schwartz Edmonston.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I wanted to talk about here during this media timeout. You're going so well, you're playing so well, you're making almost everything, and then you get an injury off ball in the corner to one of your better shooters. And like you said, with the Golson not dressing up in today's game, you don't know how lengthy an injury that could be. It's important that everyone on this team stays healthy towards the end of the season. This is the most important stretch of the season, and you're starting to see the injury bug plague the Penguins.
And that's the worst time for it, too, because they're hot. And you don't want to mess up the camaraderie. And the injury bug seems to plague teams at the worst times. You see it in all athletic sports. And you just hope that he's okay. For the Penguins, 5 players in double figures. Bates with 12, Haysbert with 12, Carrillo with 11, Taplin with 16, Hayes with 14. They're 15 for 24 from downtown.
That's crazy.
Game's not even halfway done in the second half. Unbelievable. 64% shooting on the game for the Penguins. Absolutely on fire as action is back underway. It's Ginter swung over to Plattenberg, and Hayes already had known that it was going to be a shot clock violation. Didn't need the closeout. Argonauts didn't see it.
They came out of a timeout and weren't aware of the shot clock. That's a huge mistake by the Argonauts.
Especially coming out of that timeout. Here's Armstrong. It's him, O'Nair, Ramirez, Hayes, and Haysbert. Armstrong putting the moves on Enciso. Enciso did a good job to stay with him. They feed Haysbert. Down the block. Hook shot is long. Good box out and rebound by Cerna. And then he cleared out. Orner used the elbow. That's going to be an offensive foul. And he's got the look of a disgusted player right now. The freshman got a little too ahead of himself trying to protect the ball.
And on the opposite side, Orner's simply laughing because he knew he got into Cerna's head there.
And as Stu talked about, the level of frustration definitely setting in for Notre Dame, Danny Muir.
Yeah, it seems they're very close to their shoulders slumping permanently.
Haysbert from 10, it's pure, nice feed from Armstrong.
How much can you take? You know, they're down by 30, and that's a lot of threes they've watched rain from a bunch of guys.
And Ciso, wheeling and dealing, keeps the dribble alive, hands off to Plattenberg. His three is long. Out of bounds over to DU. And here comes the freshman, Russell Davis, for Kyle O'Neill, who drives some cheers from the crowd.
Every time he comes in, which is sparingly throughout the season, he gets the loudest cheers. Fan favorite.
He is. And he's going to be another one of those future products for Booker T. Harris that's going to have to come in.
Davis
out
of Bishop O'Dowd.
He's got the rock. Uses a Ramirez screen. They find Haysbert. He's going right at Cerna, and he's fouled. Cerna just cannot stay with Haysbert.
Cerna's got happy feet down low, and I think that Connor knows that. Cerna is completely flummoxed. He's looking over the referees again and again and again. What did I do? If you don't know, that's a problem.
Great word usage there. And Cerna, he's only a freshman. He's got a long way to go, and by the time he develops and he's a senior like Haysbert, he will be a good big man for the Argonauts. Haysbert hits the first.
He already hits.
Yeah.
He's got to figure out how to defend and know what you can and cannot do. And sometimes a freshman has to learn those things the hard way. And we see it all the time. What you can get away with in the NC2A is not what you can get away with your senior year of high school.
Haysbert couldn't hit the second. Lead is at 31. It's in Ciso, the left southern corner. Goes inside, and he used the off arm. It's going to be an offensive foul. It's going to be a clear-out offensive foul on Washington.
Yeah, two refs made that call. They both saw the same thing.
Ciso tried to get to the bucket.
And they had to actually take the numbers off the board, and that hurts when you're down by 31.
It does. And this Argonaut team, they're not that bad of a basketball team to what this score has shown. And we got a backcourt violation as Ciso worked to get the basketball back, pressuring Armstrong. Played good D, forced him into the backcourt. We got a timeout. Coach Booker T. Harris spends a TO for the Penguins. They're up by 31. Pretty much everything has gone the right way except the injury to Christopher Schwartz-Edmiston.
And hopefully when the game is over and we get more news about the injury that's not too serious, because Schwartz-Edmiston is a huge player for this team, both on the bench and sometimes when he starts. So huge news coming out of that, but other than that, this Penguin team has looked poised and ready for postseason play, in this last stretch is going to be, barring a miracle, their 6th win in a row, pushing them even closer to the top 2 seeds.
And after this game, the Penguins will travel to Holy Names. Holy Names came in here on February 5th, and they put the beat down on them. They beat them by double digits, 76-65. They were in control of that ball game throughout. They'll get a rematch on February 15th in Holy Names on Saturday. Here's Plattenberg, down low to Washington. He gets doubled, hook shot, goes.
Update on Christopher Schwartz-Edmiston. I just went and talked to him. He's lying on the bench over there. He's got about 18 pounds of ice on that left ankle, but he said, I'm fine, I rolled it. I slipped, I rolled it. It's going to be sore tomorrow. I'll be fine by tomorrow night.
Good news that there's no fracture or break. He just rolled it. He's wise that he's icing it. Armstrong hits the deck, barely gets it off to Haysbert in time. Davis thought about a three. Inside, goes hard to the rack, and the foul. Russell Davis,
the freshman, emphatic, goes up, slaps the backboard, finishes for 2, and gets the foul. And the stands, the fans, the crowd are going wild.
Yeah, the fans really do love him. Whenever he gets his minutes, he makes the most of it. The fans love him. And that was a great play.
He could have settled for the three. He didn't. He put it on the deck. He went strong to the 10. Able to finish with the contact. Couldn't convert on the three-point play. Lead is at 31 still. Here's Washington, spins to Plattenberg. Tough step back three. Banked it home just like Taplin did from the same spot. 76 to 48 now.
Hayes had his hand up in his face, and as they were backing up, they were backpedaling, and he said something to him like, man, I don't know how you lucked that one in.
Here's Davis, driving baseline again. No look to Haysbert, and he lays it in. Davis, he's getting some quality minutes for Coach Gutierrez.
I'm loving his game so far. He had that last pull-up deuce.
Oh, and Ciso puts it in from deep.
And then he follows it up with a great no-look to the big fella. That's very strong work out of Davis. Really impressed by him tonight.
Oh, yeah. 78-51. Penguins up by 27, 8:20 left in this second half as Armstrong's pass is deflected by Northrop. Penguins will retain possession.
Good hands there by Coach Mendoza as the ball flew out of bounds. At 102 miles an hour, Mendoza puts the hands up and grabs it.
Here comes Katic and Hutton for the Argonauts.
That's why he's the coach.
Davis will inbound to Ramirez. He's got it. Finds Armstrong. Spinning through a double team, but they're going to say palm the basketball. It's going to be a carry going over to the Argonauts.
Oh, that was close to being a tremendous dribble move between two guys.
And a quick inbound from the Argonauts. That was, though. He almost had a nice split of that double team.
It really was.
Here's Plattenberg, checked by Davis. Davis is zoned in right now. Here's Northrop. He's up top. Plattenberg thought about a three. Puts it on the deck. Davis is right with him. And Haysbert and Washington continue their battle down low. It's going to go against Haysbert. And he hooked Washington. Haysbert wants an explanation. We got immediate timeout. 78-51, 7:51 left. And this is great moments for Davis, for Armstrong, for Ramirez to get these quality minutes down the stretch for Booker T. Harris. Maybe not all for this year as conference play will tighten up, but definitely for next year.
Yeah, it's definitely a building block for these younger guys on the Penguins to get this kind of minutes in a good Pac West game. This is coming down the stretch, and to see these minutes as freshmen and sophomores, it really builds towards their experience coming into either later this year with injuries maybe or next year's contest.
And as you see these freshmen continue to grow and develop, Davis doesn't look like a freshman anymore. Armstrong doesn't look like a freshman anymore. They don't play like it either. And these quality minutes are prominent to that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Davis, this game has really broke out for me. The way he's attacking the rim, how confident he is with the ball. We saw it 2 possessions in a row. He slapped the backboard, finished for 2, got to the line, and then he did the no-look pass. Definitely playing out right now in the minutes he's getting.
You know, as a young athlete, that feels so good when your game is going smooth and one no-look pass. It feels good. Carrillo, Hayes, Taplin, O'Neill, and Bates are now in for Coach Booker T. Harris. 7:51 left. He'll get the starters a couple quality more minutes as Carrillo deflected the pass away from Katak. Argonauts will still have possession on the southern baseline in front of their bench.
George, here we go.
Inbounds to Hutton. Quickly returned to Northrop. Around the world, and good hands again by Carrillo. If you're Katak, you got to be having a little more sense of urgency. Couple lazy passes. The senior's going to pick it apart all night. He's gotten 2 deflections this possession. Inbounds into the backcourt to Northrop. Here's Katak once again. He's up top. Washington, right wing. Other side to Northrop. Carrillo gambled again. Northrop cans the 3.
That's the first jumper that we've seen Northrop knock down. Carrillo gambled there, almost had the steal and breakaway layup.
78-54. Plattenberg hounding Carrillo. Carrillo finds O'Neill. They quickly exchange the handoff. O'Neill left open. He's going to gun a three. It's long. Hayes offensive rebound working on Katak. And he couldn't finish on the putback.
Yeah, good rebound. Just rushed the shot and was too strong off the right glass.
Here's Northup. Cross court to Hutton. Nice feed down low to Washington. Gets it up over Bates. Great defense from Bates. Hutton on the glass. Got it to go and one.
And the Argonauts making a little push right here in the last 3 minutes.
78-56. The 7th team foul against Dominican as Hutton will go to the line. A chance for a three-point play.
And we talked about it in the women's game. It's important to end these double-digit leads and end the game well. It gives you momentum coming to the next game to really start out knowing that you're playing your best ball.
Free throw rimmed out. Lead is still at 22. Hayes has it. Cross court, Dorner now over to Bates. Carrillo comes to get it up top. Here's Taps. Swung over to Carrillo. And he is hacked in the lane. This is going to go against Enciso is first.
And that's surprising the way Enciso plays defense. He's very aggressive, but very good with his body and hands, not to reach and not to overcommit.
Carrillo at the line for a 1-on-1. Unless they called it on the shot. His first one goes. We got Patrick Davis with us right now. The sophomore, he's part of the radio program. He's going to join us on Media Row. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Alex. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Watching some good basketball right now.
Yeah, enjoying the blowout.
Yeah. Dominican clearly is taking this game away, and I think it's pretty much in the bag right now.
Oh, I know. Excellent play, not only in the first half, but they opened up a can in the second half. Here's Ginter underneath. He lays it in, 80-58. Carrillo going behind the back on Enciso to lose him. Now it's Taplin. Gets a screen from Bates. Right wing, Carrillo. Curls in the lane, beats Enciso. Tries to drop it back from O'Neill. Stolen away by Enciso. One-handed bullet pass over to Hutton. Now to Katak. Gets caught up in the air. Tried to find Ginter underneath. He couldn't finish. 5:30 left in the second half. Carrillo in the lane. Found Hayes. Now it's O'Neill. And they'll set it up with Taps up top. O'Neill might have gotten away with a push-off on Hutton. Taplin's doubled. Northup and then Enciso. He splits it anyways. Finds Hayes in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. Down to 4. Carrillo's going to have to fire. And he couldn't get it off in time. Shot clock violation.
And the Argonauts are making this run because of their defense. They're really stretching out the man-to-man and putting pressure on the ball handlers, making it tough for the Penguins to really get any penetration. That's why the Penguins have gotten a little mini scoring drought here.
And here comes Daniel Van Victorino for the Penguins. Will join Bates, Hayes, Carrillo, and Taplin. Under 5 minutes. Penguins up 22. Here's Enciso. Fires a deep three over Bates. It's in and out. Corralled by Van Victorino. He'll walk it up into the front court as the Penguins will continue to bleed the clock. Carrillo finds Taplin. Nice find from Taplin back to Carrillo, going backdoor, couldn't finish. Oh, and again, it was Ginter swinging some elbows. It was Cerna the first time. Now it was Ginter off the loose ball swinging the elbows. An offensive foul and a little bit of a tussle underneath.
Getting a little chippy as I think the ref just issued double technicals. And they're going to give a foul to Ginter. Then he's going to pick up a technical foul on top of that. And Daniel Van Victorino will also pick up a technical foul.
Ginter's trying to explain to the referee he's trying to clear space. But you can't get the chicken wings up too high underneath your chin. Washington will come in. But like you touched on, double text issued to Van Victorino and Ginter. Here's Taplin. Cross court to Hayes. No look to Ramirez. Will work it around. Hayes gets his man in the air. Kicked out Bates, corner three. This one doesn't go down. Washington has got the rebound for the Argonauts.
And it's going to be interesting to see as these teams do play one more time at NDNU to end the season, if the Argonauts stay with this pressure defense in the rematch, because it seems like it's working, and most of the starters are out here and it's still working against the starters, so it's going to be interesting to see whether Coach Puo notices that and really initiates that coming back in the rematch.
What a find from Carrillo underneath the Bates. He laid it in, going back door, but hit the deck hard after he finished. And the trainer will attend to Bates underneath the basket.
And again, the injury bug plaguing Dominican as the trainer has to come out and talk to Bates.
Dominican just wants to get out of here unscathed with no more injuries. Bates is up. He looks like he's okay.
It looked a lot worse than it was, I guess.
That was a tough spill. Here comes Notre filling in for Bates, and we got a media timeout. 3:45 left. Penguins have been in control throughout this whole ball game, 82-58 on academic night. You liking what you're seeing, Patrick Davis?
I am. I mean, we're up by 24 right now. We're playing pretty good basketball defensively now, even though I think our offensive drive might have slowed down in the second half, or toward the end of the second half a little bit, but that's just a mental thing, and as long as we stay on the defensive side of everything, there's no question we're winning this game tonight.
I agree with you. All the way, 4 games left in this regular season for the Penguins. They're going to go at Holy Names on February 15th. They'll come back home for 2 home games against Dixie State on the 20th. That's going to be Ron Powell night. If any students are listening, if you can make it out to a game, that is the game that we want to see everybody here packing in the house. It's going to be #blackout themed. All the proceeds are going to be going to Ron Powell. And after that Dixie State game, it's going to be a Monday night ball game against Academy of Art at home. That's going to be the final game for the Penguins, and it's going to be senior night. And then they'll play the same Argonaut team on March 1st as they travel to Belmont to take on Notre Dame de Namur. And if it's anything like it goes tonight, the Argonauts are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, this is a must-win game for the Argonauts as they're in the 7th seed right now. 2 games back from Hawaii Pacific in the top 6 seeds for the playoffs. You know they're going to come in here hard, just didn't have the answers for the Penguins' 3-point shooting tonight.
82-58. Penguins in control. Davis is going to come in and grab Taplin as Ramirez is set to inbound. Carrillo will bring it up into the front court. Finds Hayes. He breaks the pressure of Plattenberg. Here's Ramirez hanging, tries to hit, couldn't get it to go. Battle for the offensive rebound, going to go out of bounds over to the Argonauts.
And the pressure for the Argonauts really causing the Penguins to get out of their offense and force up shots that they don't really want to get. But that also could be because of the score, and they're really just trying to dwindle down the shot clock.
Under 3 minutes now. It's Enciso finding Washington. Cross court to Northrop. Good ball movement by the Argonauts. 13 on the shot clock. Plattenberg's cut off. Underneath to Ginter, who's fouled by Hayes as he went up strong.
Penguin fouls on 30.
And yeah, Matt Hayes guarding Ginter is a mismatch. They found him towards the end of the shot clock, and he was able to get fouled. Good foul by Hayes, though, making sure he didn't get the bucket in.
Ginter will go to the line for 2. Glad to see that the crowd stuck around for this one. It got out of hand. It was good to see. Student body come out tonight for academic night. Ginter couldn't hit on the first. He's got one more coming. And he puts that one in. 82-59. Penguins in control. As Enciso will create some backcourt pressure. And here comes Northup now. Hayes is going to handle the point guard duties. He's checked by Plattenberg. He gives off to Carrillo. It's Davis now up top, pressured by Northup. He's being strong with the basketball. Good rip through by Russell Davis. Didn't let Northup control him with that hounding pressure. Davis is going to go to the stripe for a 1-and-1.
And it's funny, you were talking, but Davis went to go give the ref a little high five. I think he thought it was his teammate. And then the ref just dissed him, but that was what I found funny. Good freshman move there by Russell Davis.
He's got 2 coming now as they had tacked on the 10th team foul charge to the Argonauts. Davis's first is good.
And I remember about 4 games ago when we saw Russell Davis get some action. He went to the free throw line and banked in both free throws. We thought that was his style, but that must have been nerves because now he's got a much better form.
Got them both. Lead is up to 26. Here's Hutton. Plattenberg in the right southern corner. Cross court over to Enciso. Nice no look down to Washington, tried to flush it, and he is fouled. We'll go to the line for a pair, and this is going to go against Carl Warner. That's going to be the 9th team foul on DU.
Yeah, they're not letting the Argonauts have any easy shots inside. They're going to make them earn it from the free throw stripe.
Washington converts on the first.
Washington at the free throw line. Katayak returns for Notre Dame. Josh Armstrong returns for your Penguins.
Armstrong is checked in for the Penguins. He's going to be out there with Davis, Hayes, Onur, and Ramirez to finish this one out likely. No good on the second attempt by Washington. Armstrong's into the front court. He finds Onur. His pass is deflected by Washington, and it goes off of Onur, out of bounds, goes back over to the Argonauts. Good defense by Don Washington, the junior from San Mateo.
Yeah, they're really over pursuing the passing lanes, getting their hands in the face of the ball handlers for the Penguins, and that's really causing some problems. Another turnover here with just under 2 minutes left.
Here's the freshman Katak. They work it over to Northup. Another cross-court pass to Plattenberg. Nearly got away with a walk. Northup tries to go at Hayes, and he had it blocked. Good defense by Matt Hayes. And he'll cross midcourt, and he'll give off to Onur.
When they're playing D like this, you got to look for the backdoor cuts because they're over pursuing the passing lanes. That's a good time for a backdoor cut.
Nice kick from Armstrong to Davis. He's guarded by Katak. Freshman on freshman. Davis's layup is too long. He gets it back. Can't finish. Ramirez battling. Hutton tried to save it, and he did so to Cerna. With only 1 minute remaining here. Here's Katak on the attack.
That was a good one.
Finds Plattenberg. He's in a gun of 3, and it's good.
Three-pointer, Stephen Plattenberg.
And the clock continued to run after a made basket. It's 85-63. Referee's going to get the official time up ahead on the scoreboard. It's going to be 50.2 is the official time.
This is essential to get this extra second on the clock. With the score the way it is it really that important? And again, the ref's just doing his job.
Fair enough.
We'll call it that.
It's Hayes finding Armstrong. DU will work it around for their last possession as they played one heck of a ball game. It's Davis. Tried to sneak it into Ramirez. Couldn't finish. Plattenberg's up ahead. He's going to go all the way, and he lays it in. Well done by Plattenberg, and once again the clock was running after a Mays basket. 20-point lead for DU.
Shot clock turned off. This should be a no-shot possession and end of game for the Penguins, giving them their 6th win in a row.
Armstrong's going to bring it in. That's big. 6 wins in a row. You dropped 3 in a row, and then you reel off 6.
Yeah,
that's well done.
Definitely a good job by Coach Booker T. Harris to make sure his team was ready and prepared for the final stretch of the season. That's why they've won 6 in a row now, coming towards the postseason tournament. Huge run and huge momentum booster for the Penguins.
Clock's going to tick down. It's under 5 seconds. The final buzzer's going to sound. Coach Booker T. Harris has got to be happy with this blowout victory, 85-65. The Penguins take it to their rival across the bay, Notre Dame, the Namur Argonauts. And all we can hope for now is that Schwartz Edmiston will heal quickly from that sprained ankle